What's up guys, it's me Ollie and today I'm bringing you a really cool new tech that was just found. This basically triples your damage, potentially even more. I got a really scuffed setup going and I've been able to hit for 9 trillion already. Once you actually get this setup properly going, you will be hitting over 10 trillion. It's quite insane, right? And this is gonna sound weird, okay? Trust me for a second, Whirlwind Overpower. I know what you're thinking, I'm not crazy, okay? I know that from Season 0 to Season 12, Whirlwind cannot overpower. The thing is, Overpower was reworked with the expansion, right? And instead of being a thing that increases your damage on the on the next hit or something like that, it now uses a power system. And you can get a lot of multipliers to your damage just by having power charges and by having a lot of them. So what we're doing, basically, we're increasing the amount of power charges we can have, and then we are using Banished Lord Talisman together with a new reworked glyph, Domination, which gives you 300 plus multiplier, 300 plus additive per power charge, and we're gonna be able to get up to 12 power charge, something like that, right? It's insane. I cleared the 120 multiple times in 2 minutes 30, a 120. And this setup is not max. When you actually max this setup, we might be able to speed farm 120. I'm not certain if you'll be able to fully speed farm it, like 1 minute 30, or if it's gonna be like just 2 minutes, but that's still pretty good, right? Another thing, you remember last video I talked about that Butcher was kind of the only boss on T12 you couldn't really farm realistically? Well, now you kinda can. With this setup, I've been able to do Butcher in like 10 to 15 seconds. And again, this setup is not min-maxed yet. I just put this together. This setup is actually kinda hard to min-max. But I can actually farm Butcher on T12 with the +2 node on the war plan here. Where is it? This thing here that increases their monster power. I can still kill Butcher in 10 to 15 seconds. It's incredible. So, how this works, I'm gonna have the build guide down below. It has this setup there, as well as the Selig setup. I'll go into why in a second. But, because the reason is, my gear is kinda not optimized for this. Because, well, I don't have a lot of gear to change and my gold can only go so far. I think you can all relate to this part, right? We don't have gold, but yeah. Basically, you're gonna be running the tidal aspect over here, right? This will give you 8 maximum overpower charges, whatever, while you're fortified. You can easily get 45, that's not an issue. We're gonna cover how we're doing that as well. But, you know, you get overpowers. Now, you're sacrificing a lot of damage, but trust me, sacrificing it to that aspect is still gonna give you more damage overall. Then, after that, we are running a Banished Lord Talisman. You ideally want to run this on the amulet. The only issue is, getting Banished Lord Talisman is really hard, so getting a good one is really hard as well. As you can see, this one only have the all damage multiplier and strength. The other stats are kinda useless to me. It is what it is, right? You can only do so much, but this together with Crown of Lucian, which is making us spend a bit more resource, actually allows Banished Lord Talisman to by itself keep you at 11-12 stacks constantly. Sometimes you'll go down to 11 for like 1 or 2 seconds, but you'll go up to 12 right away, so you don't need to run any other sort of overpower. The only other overpower aspect you have there is just for the 30% increased damage. If you get the good roll, right? But the other big one, we're gonna go into the... I had to change our Paragon quite a lot. Let's just quickly go over the abilities. The way you're proccing a bunch of Fortify is just by running Fortify on the Rounding Cry here. Since you're running Starless here... Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that. Since we're running Starless here, right? The reason we're running Starless is because I really want to get a bunch of crit chance so I can eventually run this aspect, temper here, damage per overpower stack, on every single weapon. Currently I can't, have to run critical strike chance because my Banished Lord sucks and I don't have critical strike chance there. but eventually down the line you want to remove as much crit chance as you can from the weapons and run damage per overpowered charge. The only reason I'm not running it here is because I kinda need the cooldown for the unstoppable uptime. Now, actually going into the changes we did to the Paragon to allow this to work. Let's go here. Big thing here. Is it here? No. Where did I put it? Yeah, over here. Dominate. Dominate, as you can see, this is only level 120 or something right now. Yeah, it's level 120 and it's already giving me 245 per overpower stack. Let's run this up to 250, right? I have 12 overpower stacks. That means I get 3000 additive damage. Right, and this is gonna go up. This is gonna go up to 300 and something once you max out the glyph, which, you know, being able to run 120s, potentially being able to clear 130 as well. Because 120 I did it in 2 minutes 30, right? So 130 is definitely possible for the build. 135 potentially with a setup I'm gonna talk about in a second. But yeah, it's like quite good, really. Now, let's actually go open up this thing here, because I want to show this in a second. I also have a push league setup with the same overpower thing. We're actually running Banished Lord Talisman on the... Okay, Banished Lord Talisman on the Talisman. Right, we're running it in here simply because we want to run Melted Art of League. The reason for that is not... like, this... You will do more damage with this setup, technically speaking. But once you start going at 125 plus, I'm not sure about the pit, but at least on the tower, things start hitting way too hard. If you don't run a Selig setup, you're just gonna die. Even with a Selig setup, once you start going 135 plus, you start struggling a lot, but it is what it is, right? So we're running a Selig simply because we need a survivability. It technically is slightly less damage, but you can't do damage if you're dead, right? So it is what it is. We're running Selig on this setup. For general farming, I still would advise running this one. This will be a lot more damage, especially to get those, to kill those bosses faster. But this for pushing and maybe for Mephisto will make the fight a lot easier for you, so consider running it. Nothing changes too much. We just slot in a Melted Art of Selig. We move around the aspects we had there, right? We have to swap the Grandfather as well, because Grandfather just has way too much life, right? So you can't really run it. And as you'll see, I removed life from all pieces of gear. When you're running Selig, you don't want life anywhere. You also have, if you go down here, you also have a different skill, a different Paragon board, slightly different, right? I'm really avoiding as much life as I can. The only life I'm taking that I'm not forced to, it's this one for the Fury. If you feel that you're kind of dying a bit still, just remove this. Legit, just remove this thing and you'll be fine, alright? But that's gonna be it. One thing I do want to point out, for some reason this has not updated yet. This should be, did I not save it? Let me quickly check. This should be running, yeah, okay, for some reason it didn't properly save. This should be running lunging here. The reason is, I would love to be able to run Iron Skin, but Iron Skin doesn't really give you that much shield when you're using Selig because it's off your maximum HP. So what you do is you can run here the Impaling Lunging with whatever, it doesn't really matter. You can run any basic. Lunging just allows you to have an additional mobility skill. Another really good option is running Frenzy. You can get Frosty stacks from Frenzy. You can take this, you go over here, take Barrage, take the Frenzy stacks and take the Ferocity thing to get a bit more attack speed. You do have to keep the Frenzy stacks up, but that's also an option you have. Let me quickly boom and save this. One thing I also do want to talk about on the push, the league. There is, of course, this thing here, the Seal of Diamond. Now, I don't know for sure if this works or not. I was talking about this on the other guide, about having a different set. If you happen to get the seal, that seal of diamond, whatever, the one that allows you, reduces the amount of things you need to set, try to run the Ariat set here, right? And you put your lunging on your two-handed sword, right? Your slashing weapon, and you keep Whirlwind on the two-handed mace. And you try to do the weapon swapping thing. I know for sure this damage here, you can snapshot it with Whirlwind. I already tested that. I just don't know if the seal here allows you to activate the set with a single charm. It shouldn't, but I've seen a couple of people run it on the tower leaderboard. I've seen a couple of people run this. I don't know if they are trolling a bit. Maybe it does work. Try it out for yourself. I've not been able to try it out myself because these things are incredibly hard to get. These new seals, these mythic seals. So if you get it, try it out. You know, you got nothing to lose basically, right? But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for today. Try this out. Again, it's not the easy thing to get into. Getting a Banished Lord is hard. If you get the good one, you'll be doing over 10 trillion, right? I'm already doing 9 trillion. My setup is not optimized at all. It's really good. It's basically the next step of our build. I still advise you to stick to the other build if you don't have enough currency. I mean, not currency, I'm talking about in PoE terms, right, basically. But if you don't have like a lot of resources, a lot of gold and stuff like that, this build needs you to get your glyphs already leveled, right? You need that dominate glyph already at least level 100. You also, will swap in the Crusher glyph, I forgot to show, right? You'll also be running Crusher here. You'll gain a lot of damage by being able to get these overpowered charges. It's really incredible. But yeah, run the other build. The other build is more than good enough for all content. Once that build already got you to a good spot and you got some extra currency that you can spend, make sure to swap to this, because this is like 2-3 times more damage, maybe more if you actually set it up. But okay, guys, anyway, make sure to tune into the stream. I'm gonna be streaming a bit today. I haven't slept at all because whenever I found this out, I was just stayed all night cooking. We're gonna be streaming for a couple of hours and then I'm gonna crash out on my bed for like 12 hours straight. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe as always, and I see you next time for the next Whirlwind video. Yeah, bye bye.